Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot, and tonight I am incredibly excited to bring you guys the first look at the brand new Tyto Ecology DLC. Yes, we're going to have dinosaurs in Tyto. We're going to Cretaceous Mongolia for our next biome, so let's hop straight in. I have had a little play around already, but this DLC literally just came out. I'm going to link it down below. Big shout out to Immersed Games, who have been absolutely fantastic communicating with my community, with you guys at home in the lead up to this game. And just for bringing out the thing and sending me a key and all that kind of malarkey. So, Cretaceous Mongolia. 70 million years ago, the Gobi Desert of Mongolia was not the lonely wasteland that it is today. In the Cretaceous period, it was teeming with life! Exclamation point. Though still arid and dry, it was home to dinosaurs large and small, tall trees, flowering plants, insects, and even small mammals. Today, the area is rich with dinosaur fossils, many of which belong to species that only existed in Mongolia during the Cretaceous period. For those who haven't seen this game before, what we're basically going to do is build ourselves a biome, an ecosystem that can grow and maintain and be sort of self-reliant. So, I am going to do a little bit of the tutorial, just because we do know what we're doing, but the tutorial kind of tends to set you up with a nice sort of introduction to the creatures as well, which is always a good thing. So, some basic stuff. So this is our little, I'll sort of talk while we do this. This is our sort of little region. We can spend these points in the top right. You've got kind of two forms of currency. You've got these lightning ones that you use to add new creatures in, and you've got T points, which you use to either unlock new creatures or to unlock extra parts of your biome as you sort of develop. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is place a consumer, and a consumer is obviously something that eats other things. It consumes them. And we click here, and as you can see, I have already unlocked a couple of things. Last time I had a little go. But Protoceratops, ladies and gentlemen, our first dinosaur. Click on the terrain to place the territory. You can drag while clicking, okay. So we're going to place our little proto here. This little island, I think, is Protoceratops Island officially. And boop, boop, boop. Here we go. Go away. Ladies and gentlemen, our first dinosaurs. And we're going to get 7 of these little dudes. Hi guys. Aren't they adorable? The texture quality and model quality is... Honestly, I think it's the best work they've ever done in Tyto Ecology. I really do. I think they look fantastic. Mainly that they're adorable. Little feathery, weird looking sons of guns, aren't you? Amazing. Right. So, let's move on a little bit more. Boop. Now, the problem is, as you can see, our average hunger is actually quite low because we don't have any food, we don't have any producers, we don't have anything feeding our consumers. So, that's what we need to do next. We're going to place a producer and we're going to plant some ferns. Like so. And you guys know, I have a love for ferns, okay? And I do. Look at them. The beautiful little fluffy sons of guns. Good stuff. And they all crowd in little... Oh, God. I'll do that in a sec. Little orgy, that's nice, you know, feasting away. This one, rebel black sheep of the group, eats on his own. Because these dudes are mean girls, and these are the not mean girls. I watched Mean Girls, okay? Yeah, you can see our average hunger has now gone up, 99%. Everyone is pretty happy. Now, the problem is, detritus is another word for waste, such as dead leaves, bones, poop. There's stuff, there's trash everywhere. So we need to place a decomposer, which is going to get rid of it for us. So I'm going to plant some mushrooms right there. Right there. Right frickin' there. Place! What are you doing? Okay. Was it... Well, whatever. I did it, sort of. So we need predators as well. I think this is it now. Basic little stuff about taking photos. Hello, beautiful. They sleep a lot, by the way. The creatures in the game, they do sleep. The eyes are terrifying. The eyes are actually terrifying. There's no eye. It's like a whirlpool for some reason. It's terrifying. Still very cute, just in kind of mutiny, alien-y kind of way. Okay, we need a name for our biome now. In the past, folks, we have pretty much gone with memes, to be honest, but I can't really think of any. So what have we got? We've got Cretaceous Mongolia, we've got an aridish environment at the moment anyway, we've got varied awesome dinosaurs, which I'm going to show you the whole list in a second. What else do we have? We have... I know. There we go. Let's begin. Okay. And here we are, this is it. We are now left alone to create like a self-reliant ecosystem. So the idea, of course, we've got 4 factors. We've got prey, predators, food such as plants, producing plants, and detritus. And the idea really is just to find a balance between those 4 things. Because the very cool thing about this game, when you log off, when you go and do other things, you can set a time limit that will pass whilst you're away. So if I go away for a day and set it to the maximum of time, when I come back, a whole in-game year will have passed, meaning your biome will keep playing through for that year. So when you come back, you can find species that have been destroyed or they've proliferated, they're everywhere, you know. And it's about finding that balance so that when you come back, your ecosystem is still sort of keeping itself steady, basically. It's a really, really cool system. So I want to show you guys all the that out. I just punched the desk. We're going to show you guys everything. So we've got mushrooms and termites in our detritus eaters. And let's have a look at our plants. Oh, I just clicked my PC. Fantastic. We have Fern, Platanus, Ranunculaceae, Equesitum, Cycad, Dipteris, Cornus, Magnoliaceae, Nisoide, Trocodendron, Ginkgo, Araucaria, Schizolepidopsis, and Cypress. Some lovely looking stuff here. Lovely looking stuff. But more importantly, in our consumers. So the 3 I've unlocked so far, we've got Protoceratops, Velociraptor, which we're going to add next, and Zalamdalestes. I don't know if the BD is silent or the M is silent, like in Boscodictiosaur. Yeah, so we've got a little insectivore there, so we're going to have to unlock. We should do that right now, actually. Oh wait, no, I was wrong about that. We also have Delta Theridium, little small carnivore. We have Zangzolvidae, which is our pollinator for a lot of the plants. The ferns don't. The ferns kind of pollinate themselves, or they spread naturally. But some of the more flowering kind of plants and the ones with fruit and stuff, they require insects to pollinate them, and that's how they spread. Because that's, you know, science, basically. So we're going to need to unlock these. If we're going to have ourselves some Zalams, we're going to need some Zangzols. If my neighbours could hear me right now. Same for the Mononicus, there we go, which is also a small insectivorous dinosaur. And then we're getting into the big stuff. We've got Gallimimus, Saurolophus, Dinokyrus, Oviraptor, awesome, Nematosaurus, which I thought was really interesting because in Mongolia, in this kind of region, is a formation called the Nemet Formation. Now, if you've been watching my recent formations, you'll know some of the dinosaurs that were found specifically in the Nemet Formation, such as Gallimimus, and such as our final dinosaur, not Tarbosaurus, although that's exciting, that's our big carnivore for the region, Therizinosaurus, my beloved my beloved danger floof. Awesome. So, what we're going to do, folks, first things first, we need a lot of ferns. What I'd like to do is add some raptors in, right? But in order to have some raptors, we need more Protoceratopses, because obviously you need good balance between carnivores and herbivores. If you look at just sort of nature, the ratio of carnivores to herbivores in, say, Africa is something like 1 to 1,000, or 1 to 100, or 1 to 10,000. There's a 0 added or missing, depending on my memory not being functional. But the point is... Oopsie daisy. I've got no points left, that's fine. See how quick our mushrooms are spreading? Look at them. All the way over here already. You cheeky little souls. Hello, love. The point is, you need many, many more herbivores than you do carnivores in order to sustain a carnivorous population. Now, the Protoceratops takes around 24 weeks, I think it is, for total reproduction. And I believe they'll get, 4 or 5 juveniles to go up to 12 occupancy. So what we need to do is find the exact balance between Protoceratops population and Velociraptor population. That means the raptors can survive and not be dead, but the Protoceratopses can reproduce at such a rate that they also survive. Now, I think it might be 3 to 1, it might be 4 to 1, but in order to sustain a population like that, we need a whole lot of ferns. Otherwise, we'll go away for 2 minutes, we'll come back, and they'll all be murdered by science, basically. So we're just going to keep putting some ferns down. These will actually, over time, I believe, bloom and leaf it up and spread and such like that, but I don't know. Might take a while. We can also do a thing where we kind of speed through time. Now, unfortunately, my full screen is going a little bit strange at the moment. so I can't get access to it because it's like behind the taskbar, annoyingly. Sometimes it disappears, and when it does, I'll grab it quickly. But what we can do is we can spend our T points up there in the top right to kind of skip forward through time, and that tends to get us a lot of energy points and maybe some more T points, and it lets us give a little test for how our biome is actually going to function once we have to leave it alone, which is obviously something we are going to have to do. I'm going to get these little dudes as well. I want to mix it up a little bit. Ranunculaceae. What are you guys like? You're a leafy plant. Do you need to always pollinate? Sweet. So these are actually leafier than the ferns. They have less leaves on them per thing, but they are cheaper. I think I actually can't see the prices. In honesty, they only cost 5 though. I think ferns cost more. Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna have a nice little mix here. Just loads and loads of food for them to feast upon. I think these are a good idea as well. You want your biome to have a little bit of vavavoon to it. You know, I'd like to put like a little. Let's put a little tree in as well when we can afford it. Okay, but I'm hoping now, I know this seems like overkill, guys. You know, we've got this little forest. Oh, sweet. Got this like little forest going on, but it looks nice, and that's what matters. And I promise you it is at least somewhat necessary. I'm going to put a tree in when I find a spot. That will get eaten pretty quick, but I think it just adds like a little, it looks nice. And that's what matters. So, in today's episode, we're really going to focus on the balance between Protoceratops and Velociraptor. That's really where my focus is going to... No! Every now and again, my taskbar just disappears and the game goes full screen like it should. I just need to get to that bottom button while I can. I'm going to show you the other 2 buttons while we're doing this. As you can see, there's 5 zones. These cost increasing amounts, so it's 50, 150, 50, 100, 150, 200. I think I could be wrong about that. We can also see our average health at the trice level and everything we currently have in the thing, as well as how long we've been surviving in our ecosystem. There's achievements, many of which I've already done, but some of these are... Oh! Okay, the game just gave me loads of points. Unlock all Cretaceous Mongolia animals, unlock all Cretaceous Mongolia plants, place 10 Therizinosaurus. I am the danger! Floof! Where's the word floof? Giant meteor not included. Have 50 dinosaurs die in your biodome. Biodome. Clever girl, have a velociraptor die of old age. And help a cycad reproduce, which means ensuring all its fruits get eaten. Because then things eat the fruit and then they go poop somewhere. And when they poop, the seeds come out, and that's how things spread, basically. Maintain your biodome for 200 years. 100 years, 50 years. God, I've been slacking on that. We can do that. Okay, well, I got a lot of points. Let's put it that way. So what we can do right now is get ourselves a couple more Protoceratops little territories. I don't know if this is overkill, but I think this might be the balance we need between Protoceratops and Velociraptor. They're adorable, but the textures are fantastic. They really are. I know it's quite a cartoony looking game, but I like that, and I just... I'm sorry about the noise, that's Steam's fault. There's a way to hide the UI, I'm sure there is, and I just keep forgetting what it is. Oh, you have eyes! It was just the other one that didn't have eyes. You have to get quite close. It's because they're very dark. Okay, you're less creepy than I thought you were, now you're just cute. Wander into distance. Okay, you shouldn't wander too far, because I'm about to play some raptors. So, let's do that. I think just 1 pack of raptors. Now, there is only 2. You can see at the bottom right of each little portrait how many of that creature gets added when you place them. So, up here, this is Raptor Valley. It's not really a valley, but whatever. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Velociraptor. Very beautifully coloured. I'm going to find a way to turn that noise off. I just need to go into my Steam store settings. I'll do it before the next episode, I promise. I don't promise because I'll forget. But I'll try to remember. And trying to remember is about the best you're going to get from me. I do have a couple of problems with the game. Very light problems. I adore the game, I really do. Pause. It'd be nice if I could move around while the game is paused. You know? Like, don't blur the screen, let me move around and look at all my creatures. That would be kind of cool. Also need to remember how to hide the UI. Or if you can't hide the UI, I'd like to be able to hide the UI. That's about the only 2 problems I have. It's kind of like little UI things. My little photos. I'm going to add them a few more. I'm wondering if I'm going to add too much detritus. And a few more of these. These are nice and cheap and they just make the whole thing look nicer. So what we're going to have to keep an eye on now, stupid fish, is the balance between... So you can see we've still got 7 out of 12, 7 out of 12, 7 out of 12. So the raptors haven't gone hunting yet, but they are going to. They're going to get hungry, and at some point they're going to come across and going to kill some of my Protoceratopses. Now, how many do they manage to kill before we get to the point where the babies are born? And that is where we find the balance. Sweet. Basically, the more stuff we have, diversity, health averages, the same for the plants, the more of these points we're going to get every month. And that's how, when you log out for a long time, you get... I've got so many points, it's not really a problem, if we're honest. Just because of those little achievements I completely forgot about. I said a couple... You know what, the raptors deserve some stuff as well. So, where's my raptor territory? It's up here. I'm going to plant some ferns about. They don't really need them, but it's more just to make the whole thing look a little nicer. Ah, you know what the problem might be? Platanus. Do you need... Yes, you need a pollinator. So, living here with our protos, we're going to have some Zangzolvidates. They're going to live by the tree. Let's take a look at these guys. I've never seen these before. The only two I'd seen is the Protoceratops and the Raptors. There we go. You guys don't have to eat, do you? I think. Yeah, basically they eat the plant. They feast on the tree, the delicious tree sap. And hopefully those two are just gonna sustain each other. This little dude is fine for the next 19 weeks. He is getting eaten though. I mean, the Protoceratopses will eat the tree. No! Oh! Over there! Go! No! There's our first dead proto. Sorry about the noise. Oh yeah, just sleep in the corpse, as you do. So if we click on these now, in one of them we should be able to see, yes, you can see the occupancy has gone down to 6 out of 12. Now there is only 14 weeks until reproduction for that one, because that was the first tribe we put down. I think they're going to be okay. I think this might be the balance we need. It's 3 or 4 per raptor pack. What I'm probably going to do is start building a little list where you can kind of compare how much you need of certain creatures to sustain another creature group. I think that'd be very helpful. With plants, you may as well just kind of go over the top, you know? But now that we've got some Zangzols, we can now get ourselves some Zalams. I think these would live in the shadow. God knows why, I just feel like that, okay? Extra small. Is that a new thing? Oh, whatever. As long as they can get over to there, we're good. Let's take a little look. God, you weren't kidding, actually. Little mousy dudes. How many do I get? 6. Hi, guys. I'd also really like to be able to, you know, like if you play JPOG, you can click on one creature and then zoom in specifically on that creature and kind of have the camera track it and kind of rotate around it. That'd be nice as well. I'm just putting suggestions out there. Oh, I'm so happy this game updated with dinosaurs. So, I don't know if the raptors will assumedly actually eat these guys, right? They only need 16 weeks. So the thing we need to do is keep an eye on the population of Zangzolvidae. If that starts to drop at a fairly alarming rate... Ow, ooh, I just punched the desk. Then we'll have to sort of get another one. Because we want to make sure our tree can get pollinated, but we also want to make sure our Zalams, I should say, Zalam, blah, 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 have enough to survive. Let's put down some more plants. We need some interesting things to kind of just make the whole area look a little nicer. Let's go, yeah. There's something about this cycle, right? I need the whole thing to be eaten. It's a fruity one, right? Over here, near these dudes. Awesome. Oh, they're so expensive. Why? Yeah, whatever, that'll do. Another reason you should really focus on extending your biome early, and something I completely forgot until approximately this second, is when you extend your biome outwards, you get more of these lightning points. Your maximum amount goes up. So as you log out and when you come back in and you've got full points, it just means you can do a little bit more each time. I am going to resist for this first episode, but after that we'll probably... Now, I'm a little worried these dudes aren't going to get pollinated, so I think what we need to do is bring in some more Zangs, specifically over here. I don't know if that's going to be enough to handle all of them. Was not pollinated. I was too slow. I should have had the Zangs here beforehand. That's my bad. But that's hopefully going to provide more food for the Zalams as well, which are a little bit hungry because they haven't actually eaten anything yet. Let's check in on our Protoceratops. 6, 7, 6. So we've lost 2 Protos so far. They've only got 11 weeks. They're over halfway to reproduction, so they're looking pretty good. Okay, folks. Okay. I just want the whole thing to look nice. I want it to be pretty, okay? Another reason to not necessarily spread my biome quite yet is simply that, as in unlocking new zones, it's just because when you unlock new zones, it means your plants can then spread to that zone. We've had things before where we've logged out for a little bit and we've come back and the world is covered in various plants because they've just had the perfect environment to spread in. And I've just been covered in this plant that I couldn't get rid of. I suppose I could have added loads of herbivores to clear it out. It's really cool though, isn't it? It's awesome, it really is. You guys, are you guys getting eaten at all yet? 110. Why are you guys not feasting? Feast! Feast, you fools! I'm worried about my Zalams. But we'll find out. So basically, if I... Right, max time away, this is what I was going to look at. So I want to set that to a year, basically. So... I'm going to come back... I'm recording this on the morning the DLC comes out. So I'm going to come back and say... I don't know. Let's go to main menu. I'm going to come back and say 4 or 5 hours. And quite a large amount of time have passed. Maybe not a year. I'm not quite sure the time scale. But a decent amount of time will have passed. So... when we do a second episode tonight, folks, stick around, it's going to be up in an hour's time. When we come back, we'll see exactly where our biome is. We'll see what the balance was, we'll see if any species have been wiped out, any plants have been wiped out or proliferated and spread everywhere. We'll get to see what has happened. And then what we'll probably do is we'll make our biome bigger, we'll go ahead and get the next stage, and we'll move on to some other creatures, and we'll just try to expand it and make it really cool. Big shout out once again to Immersed Games for the fantastic DLC, for sending me a key, for getting involved with the community and talking to you guys at home. You know, that's why we ended up with Cretaceous Mongolia, and they've just been absolutely fantastic through the whole process. Check out Tyto on Steam and check out the DLC. I will link it down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe for more dinosaur gaming content, more Tyto Ecology, and more generally awesome stuff, obviously. And do hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and want to see a little bit more. It really helps me out. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.